Hey everyone. So I'm going to give you a quick little review and some things to remember for the Unit 3. I guess it's our third CCA. This one is going to be over social institutions and philosophy, and how we look at the world through the eyes of kind of a philosopher when it pertains to culture. Okay, so one of the first things that you need to make sure that you know is the four institutions that are the same. We have these four institutions for every kind of region and country in the world, and they are educational, they are religious, they are economic, and they are government. And we've done different activities throughout the last few weeks regarding these different types of institutions. Make sure you know that the government institution is one that sets rules and laws. The economic institution decides how you're going to how you're allowed to make money, kind of the taxation within the country, how people can spend their money, what's produced, the gross domestic product, those types of things. Educational institutions or school are, do we have kindergarten through 12th grade? Do we have colleges? Do we have private school only? Do most of our students go to private school? What type of educational institutions do we have or is available for our students? And then lastly, we have our religious institutions, and that encompasses the different types of religions, and it also encompasses how you practice and where you go to practice and what type of religious institution supports your beliefs and values. Okay, so you've got those four institutions, and I will talk about those a little bit more towards the end. So the next thing I want to make sure you remember is what a philosopher does. It questions the world. They ask intriguing questions. How come? Why? They are very in tuned with the culture of different places. They want to know about the truths about the world we live in. And that's a philosopher will study culture mostly. Like that's kind of, culture, the habits and how people act and interact. And that's what a philosopher wants to know. And they use that information to expand their knowledge and to make changes. Remember that, let's see, religion is a big part of our culture, that we do have our we do have our culture traits, which are language, religion, sports activities. You have government, economy as part of our culture traits. We have food, we have customs, holidays, all of those things are culture traits. And religion is a big part of one's culture. So you need to remember that. And remember that here in the United States, we are very diverse. We are multicultural, right? So we have lots of different people, even within our classroom, that look different, that practice different things, that believe in different things, that have that are raised differently. And it's not everybody's the same. As an example, if you were to go to North Korea or if you were to go to some Middle Eastern countries, the majority of the people are very similar. Okay, they look the same, they practice the same religion. It's not very diverse. That's the opposite of multicultural. Okay, so multicultural, Ulrich is a prime example of multicultural. Okay, if you just look in the classroom, it's multicultural. Okay. Make sure you understand the traits of a culture region. Remember, we know the word region is an area, okay? So if you take culture and you add region to it, it's an area that has similar culture traits, okay? So people are going to enjoy the same foods. They're going to have the same beliefs. It's a region, and it's not just within lines of a border. Sometimes that region can be bigger than a country, or sometimes you can have more culture regions within just one state or within one country, okay? So a lot of times it's just where people together are doing the exact same thing, and that makes it a region. And if it's focused around a culture, then it's like they're practicing the same religion, or they're wearing the same type of clothing, or they eat the same type of food. Okay. Let's see. When you have different religious holidays. Now, hopefully you've gone over some of those religious holidays like Yom Kippur, the traveling Mecca to the annual Hajj, celebrating the birth of Christ during Christmas. Those are all religious holidays, okay? They surround a religious philosophy. Remember that also the Festival of Lights during Diwali is also a religious holiday. Things like the 4th of July or a friend's birthday, those are not religious holidays. Those are Independence Day is governmental, and it's basically only here in the United States, and it's not based on any one religion. And a birthday isn't somebody's religion either, okay? That's your birth. Make sure that you know that religious institutions are here to serve. People practice the beliefs that serve the needs of the society. So, here in Texas, we have lots of different types of religions, and we have lots of people that practice. And a lot of times, churches and synagogues and houses of worship, they will all kind of come together, and they will definitely help and serve the needs of the community, either through food drives or after different storms or natural disasters. And we're lucky here in Texas because we have so many different opportunities for people to practice and participate in religious activities. Okay, so the one last thing I want to remind you about is the scales of justice. Remember that lady who she sometimes is blindfolded, sometimes is not. She's holding up this weighted kind of scale that goes back and forth, and she represents fairness. Okay, and make sure that you understand that is the woman who represents this philosophy of justice. Okay, so that's one very specific thing on your test. And I think that's really about it. Again, make sure you know your 4 institutions and what those do. Make sure that you understand that philosophy is this belief and this intriguing desire to know more about the world. Make sure you understand what the word culture means, culture regions, and culture traits, because you're going to see those words scattered throughout your test in some of your questions. And make sure you take the review. And if you need to watch this one more time, go ahead and do that. So thank you, and good luck on your test tomorrow.